Hi class, it's Mrs. Perrone. We're on page 43 of our Shiny Math book. We're going to be doing some long division on this problem. It is a super duper long one, so stick with me. Make sure that you're keeping your work neat. You are going to need pretty much all of this room here. So use division to find the decimal equivalent for 1/7. Be sure to continue dividing until the decimal terminates. That means until it stops. We're going to continue with our long division process until the decimal stops or it begins to repeat. Now 1/7 is like one of those crazy fractions where it does repeat, but you're going to have to be really persistent with your long division process and keep going because it's going to take a while. So I want to make sure that you start up towards the top because we're going to be going down, down, down and using most of this space. So 1 divided by 7, that means 1 divided by 7, started off looking like that. Place a decimal point after your 1, and you are going to need a lot of zeros. Oh man, now that I think about it, I probably should have written this over here so that I could go even farther. I'm going to do that. So we're going to just leave that there. I'm going to copy my work again over here. I'm going to make sure that I write pretty small. And I think I'm going to have better luck doing it over here. So put my zeros. As you can see, I kind of know where we're going with this. I know we're going to need a lot of room. So bring that decimal point straight up. And here we go with our long division process. 7 goes into 1, 0 times. Move on to the next place. 7 goes into 10, 1 time. So place that 1 at the top. 1 times 7 is 7. Subtract. 10 minus 7 is 3. Make sure that you're writing kind of small because you are going to need all of this room down here. So 10 minus 7 is 3. Drop the 0. 7 goes into 30. Let's see, 4 times. 4 times 7 is 28. 30 minus 28 is 2. Drop the 0. 7 goes into 20 twice. 2 times 7 is 14. 20 minus 14 is 6. Drop a 0. I told you this was going to be really long. 7 goes into 60, let's see, 8 times. 8 times 7 is 56. Subtract. 60 minus 56 is 4. Drop a 0. 7 goes into 40. Let's see, 7 times 5 is 35. 7 goes into 45 times. 5 times 7 is 35. Subtract. 40 minus 35 is 5. Drop another 0. 7 goes into 50. 7 times. 7 times 7 is 49. Subtract. So if you're staying with me here, you'll notice that the numbers up here have not started to repeat yet, and I'm not getting a bunch of zeros, so I know that I just have to keep going. So I just subtracted 49 from 50, which is 1. I'm going to drop another 0. 7 goes into 10 1 time. 1 times 7 is 7. Subtract. Drop a 0. 7 goes into 30 4 times. 4 times 7 is 28. Subtract. Okay, I think I've reached the point where we see where it starts to repeat. So you'll notice, let's see, we have 0.142857, and here's the 1/4 starting again. So we've gotten to the point where the decimal has started to repeat, but it's taken this really, really long division process. You do have to know how to do this, and then you can check your answer in your calculator by simply doing 1 divided by 7, and it's going to give you this decimal right here. So even though it's a long decimal, it is a repeating decimal, and for that reason, our answer is going to be 0.14287, and those numbers all repeat, so we're going to use bar notation to tell our reader that's the piece that's repeating over and over and over again. That is the equivalent of 1/7. So I forgot to tell you to pause the video before you started that, but I don't know, maybe you just needed to watch me go through that. That was kind of a lot. So at the next problem here, now would be a good time to pause the video, try it on your own, and play it when you're ready to check your work. It says, Audrey is practicing basketball. She makes a basket from the free throw line 8 out of 25 shots. Which decimal shows the fraction of Audrey's shots that result in baskets? Circle the letter of the correct answer. Okay, so I know this is a basketball problem. I think about it like a quiz. If you got 8 out of 25 on a quiz, that's not a very good score because 8 and 25 are pretty far apart. But if I wanted to write this as a percent or as a decimal, I would probably multiply the top and bottom by 4 so that it was a fraction with a decimal of 100. So if I multiplied the top and bottom by 4, the resulting fraction would be 32 out of 100. So 32 hundredths written as a decimal is 0.32, which means that this is the correct answer. But it says down here, Jorge chose B as the correct answer. How did he get that answer? So if he thinks that B is the correct answer, maybe he thought, or maybe he did 25 divided by 8. So if you did a little long division problem here, actually, let's do it down here. So I bet if you do a long division problem down here, 25 divided by 8, 8 goes into 25 3 times. You can add your decimal point and some zeros. So 8 goes into 25 3 times. 8 times 3 is 24. Subtract, drop a 0. Bring that decimal sign or decimal point straight up. 8 goes into 10 one time. 1 times 8 is 8. So as I'm doing this, I'm noticing if he were to flip it, so if he thought it was 25 over 8 instead of 8 over 25, he's going to end up getting, that's why he chose the answer choice of B, because he would land at 3.125. And that's what you would get if you continued the long division process here. So how did he get that answer? Well, he did 25 divided by 8 instead of 8 divided by 25. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in class.